Alright, what is up guys, it's Zura here, and today I have for you another week of replay reviews. This time, I think it's Revengers, I think. The Revengers? It is Revengers, right? Yeah, it's Revengers from Black Pepe. Without further ado, let's start. Let's start. So, he has not shown me his list, but I'm assuming, from what I see from here, I'm assuming it's more or less the same as mine. Ratios look very similar. I think I saw like a third Swordbreaker, but that's whatever. Always playing like a Dark Bond. I don't think it's very optimal to play the one Dark Bond, but it's whatever. I'm pretty sure this was like last month, I think. So like, no fish, no fish, no thing. But, yeah, Royals. I'm assuming this is Seeker. Just to go second, but Shadows is one of the few decks I don't mind going for. The Mulligan is definitely just two formats. Yeah, definitely just two formats. You definitely don't want to hold two heals in hand for no reason. The opponent rides the Lien. The opponent sure is taking a long time. Oh yes, his opponent is of the monkey species. Really cool trader. I was playing Tartu. I really playing Tartu. I don't have to go Tartu. I proceed very much. Blanks to heal kind of suck. I just think that cool. I just think that like I think Tartu is a little redundant if you're playing Judgeback, just because Judgeback can fetch you all your creatures anyways. So I don't think Tartu has much use for deck anymore. Also, just cost a counter loss, which I don't think is worth it. His opponent is also hitting face quite hard with these Swordbreaker that kind of sucks. If you wanted to call two, if you wanted to call second one, of course. Here goes the Mordred. Alright, he drew the RPB, but RPB isn't the worst first ride in the world. This is where, if he was playing the main instead of, I don't know if he's playing the main or not, but like, I'm assuming, I guess this is the one time where this card's good or can dig you a border, but the thing is, first ride RPB isn't even that in this deck. So like, I guess Tartu got the job done here. It got you the Mordred, but I don't know. I'm still not a fan of this card. Like if your goal of playing Tartu is to fetch your what's this, Shadow Lancer to search for Mordred, I think if you were to do this instead, you should probably just play Mana, because at least it's free, right? But I don't know. But then again, Mana isn't a very good card either. So both kind of suck. I personally, if he's not playing the main, I personally would rather play the main. His opponent. There's 2 Counterblast on the dog. Understandable. I'd appreciate if you got rid of that giant ass Shadow Lancer next off the board, but off the screen, but whatever. Mordred. Yeah, this draws in a really weird spot here because you don't have you have Mordred, but you don't have a break ride target to go with. Which is really iffy here. Good enough? Yeah, probably. Ride Mordred, obviously. I don't think I'd commit that hard here. I think I put down this thing and put I put Adorn. Alright, so I would have put down Adorn on this column literally just as a if he gives you break ride, top deck literally any grade 3, you can call it BDR draft flicker. Because if you're only pushing for 1 damage here, Seekers cannot kill it with 1 counter blast. They actually need the full 2 because there were counter charges on hit during battle phase, right? With the Ringgold. So I would have called down Adorn here just for next time. In case he top decks a grade 3 to ride here. The chances are you're going to 4 here, right? I think it would have been pretty wise to put down the thing. Yeah, the Ringgold is battle phase. Even if you put the thing down, his opponent can't kill it. Is the downside to Seekers or Royals in general right now. The retire is all tied to PV2, and none of the retires during the. Well, none of their counter charges during main phase. Unlike something like Dorans and Battling. Do walk for it. File will probably call the file will call the Blaster Blade Seeker. You have the last two in hand. That's a little left right there. Still sucks though. You never want to see your PGs in your damage room. Well, got the heal. Pretty nice, but you still need a break card target here. And he did not top deck a break card target. I just killed the target. I killed the door. I killed the Gringle here. I wouldn't bother with damage. I would not have. I would have just killed the Gringle. Because your opponent is kind of running out of cards in hand here. I wouldn't use this either. Yeah. Heal, you're a good player. And draw into that is some. I guess it doesn't matter, right? I guess it doesn't matter, but that's still some really powerful. Yeah, the classic you heal into your opponent heal. I would just kill the Gringle off. I wouldn't have bothered trying to do damage here. But if the opponent rewrites the Thing Saber Dragon. Oh, I guess if your opponent's gonna overcall it themselves, I guess it's fine, right? I guess if his opponent's gonna overcall it for, I guess the opponent's gonna retire it for him. I guess it was the correct play to not kill the Gringle. The opponent retired it for him. That's some very sus placement. That is some very sus. Why would you not get the unflip here? Alright, so I'm alright. Just look at the point. I'm gonna take a wild guess, saying his hand has a PG in it, right? And his opponent's thought process is, oh, I don't want to filter a PG back into my deck with a character. I'm just gonna put it like this, so I don't, because I'm not gonna unflip the character again. The thing is, if you do it like this, if you're gonna use Thing Saver, you're gonna end up tossing the PG anyway. So it's actually good to filter your PGs back to your deck, because then the Gringle bot decks your PG, and then when you rewrite Thing Saver, it shuffles your deck for you. So that PG at the bottom gets shuffled back into your deck somewhere, and you have a chance to draw into it. Because if you're gonna end up tossing it away anyways, then like, what's the point of not filtering it? The other line of play that his opponent could have done is going Vanguard column first, so you can give any trigger power to this call. Because since this Vanguard is a rewriting, not restanding, yeah, this thing can't hold the trigger power. I guess it didn't matter. It's the idiot. So. Oh, that's a lot of different grade 30. Was I correct? The FPGs in hand? Oh, two non-PGs. Maybe the last card in hand was a PG. If he didn't have to draw, he definitely would have had to throw it away where that last card was. Actually, no. If his hand was a two, one of his hand was not a PG, then he should have just thrown. He should have not. He should have filtered them. Yeah, they did. He doesn't even need a top deck record target. If he didn't draw to another PG, he just kill both intercepts here. I wouldn't even. I would just call the other Blaster Dart. Just call it into the. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Okay, this play is actually really bad, right? You're going for lethal here. It doesn't matter if you want to flip her here. Or not. You're dead next turn. I can always actually no. This is no count. You're probably dead next turn. Actually, no. You're probably fine. But still, regardless of if you're alive or not, right? He should have just called the BDR here and then called the Dorant behind the Vanguard to make sure that the Vanguard at least hits 21. Like, yeah, the counter charge is nice and all, right? But now your Vanguard isn't scaling. And if you heal, you give your opponent an out to heal, potentially. See, you get punished. You couldn't check a single PG because you did that. We will ignore the fact that his grandpa called him, right? Does the game progress? Alright, so the game progresses. I guess you're alive, but like that play was really bad. He absolutely should not have over. He could have checked for at least one PG last turn, like guaranteed one check last turn. PG and see, you lose the game for him now. If he didn't overcall if he didn't do that last turn, he actually would have won here. Obviously, we don't know that card and how is a heal or not, right? It's a grade 3. Okay, yeah, he would have won the game. He would have won this game if he didn't. Then again, he could also just 6 heal here, right? But he would have won the game on the previous turn. If he didn't, if he just made the 21 column and just did this, because look at that. He has open counterblast. What the fuck are you doing? Like, who cares about how much counterblast you have if you're fucking dead, right? He's on double 6 healer dies. I don't even know if he has 2 heals left in his deck. He doesn't. He loses here. There's the one really big misplay of not making the column on the previous turn. I also think that that early on, honestly, he should have just considered just riding the RPBA here. And obviously, yeah, you don't know if you're gonna redraw. Obviously, like if you drew Mordred and then also redrew and then also redrew any Vanguard target, it would be pretty nice, right? But I think in that birthday, I think riding RPB wasn't the worst thing in the world. The misplay, the bigger misplay was not making a 21 column on this previous turn. You would have won the game if he just made a 21 column. Is this an actual player? Or is this a VP? Actual player. What was his mulligan? Oh, was this just his hand? Oh yeah, he just holds his hand. Okay. Pretty nice. You have Break Card and you have Ripper Card. Obviously, you don't really want it this early, but it's better to have. Going first means that as long as you yourself don't choose to push, you can guarantee your job with. Like the shadows are like one of the few decks that actually don't mind going first. Because if you go first, you can ensure your dog doesn't die as long as you don't overextend yourself. As you clearly saw in that last game, he went second and then his dog died because he just pushed like 1 end of the turn. I don't know why his opponent did this. Just put the file behind the Vanguard? Question mark? There's no, you don't have, this thing doesn't have to be on the rear. Raw trigger, very nice. Alright. You have decisions here. Personally, myself, I would ride the Tartu here. Personally, myself, I'd ride Tartu. I'd ride Tartu, swing and pass. Don't use Tartu, obviously. You'd kill your Judge Bob if you did that. Because Blaster Darks are like the thing you need to manage the most. And you don't want to ride one for no reason. You don't want to ride one to preserve a Tartu, unless he wants to use it, which I don't think I do. Because then you give Seekers 2 counterblast, I mean if they have a blast with Seeker, they can kill you. You kind of don't want that. Okay, I guess it's going for it. It is scaling, so it is 2 confirmed damage, but I don't think this plays very good, to be honest. I don't agree with this play at all. I would have done the more passive play here, because you don't want your dog dying. And now he's thinking about it. He's like, oh yes, if I give him 2 damage, my dog could die here. But you already committed, so at this point you just win. Does he get punished for it? Okay, he actually cannot get punished for this, because Blaster Blade Seeker requires a Secret Vanguard. Blaster Blade's not a Seeker. I guess never punished. I guess never punished. I don't know about committing an entire board here. You swing rear first. The other's the first one. I guess never punished. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? His opponent had Blaster Blade and Lockeriness. Why'd you not just ride the Lockeriness? You could have killed the dog off. You could have rode Lockeriness and got the Secret Vanguard name, and then I don't know why the opponent didn't kill the dog. This dog was saying they were ready to die. The opponent just said he didn't want to kill it. Do not use Tartu. You're gonna. This is. I guess if you do this, it's fine. You overcall the Swordbreaker, but this is legit the definition of clicking buttons for no reason. You did not need to click this many buttons. You should have saved the extra counter blast. There was no reason to use the target. There was zero. You know what the. If you're overcalling this anyways, you might as well have just left this slot open and just use the Judge Bow to call the target, to call the Dorn here. Like, this was legit using an extra catalyst for absolutely no reason. You accomplished the same thing here. Heck, in fact, you're burning resources. Yeah, you just called over your own Doran. Also, he's playing 3 Swordbreakers. That means that he should also just call the extra Swordbreaker over this Swordbreaker. Why would you call? Yeah, this turn was like so many things wrong here. All right, we'll go over it one at a time. We'll go over it one step at a time. The first issue here is you did not need to use Tar. The first issue is you did not need to use Tar2 here at all. You should have called the Tar2 and just click the Don't Invoke button. All right, that's the first issue here because. If you want to clear their intercepts off, you need to fill your board up anyway. It's not like they have a tank intercept or anything that you need to hit over. So. There was absolutely no reason to use Tartu. This was a waste of counter blast. Straight up. If we ignore the fact that you use Tartu, this play is perfectly fine. I probably would have because the Cormac might be useful, the RPB will be useful, the BDR will be useful. So this was swing there, this was swing there, this thing should not be here. And then you swing here. Like, well, whatever. Like, I don't care what the trigger's there. Alright, and then there are 2 issues here, okay? We clearly saw that he called a Dorant and a Swordbreaker. And he's playing 3 Swordbreakers, meaning there are many issues. First off, if he didn't use the Tar2, you called Dorant Swordbreaker, and that play would have been perfectly fine. It would have led to this exact same board state, and you wouldn't have, but you would have 1 extra counter blast. If you were super hellbent on using the Tar2, you should have just called double Swordbreaker. Like, I don't think you should be playing 3 to begin with, but we'll ignore that factor. In a board state like this, you should call double Swordbreaker here. You call 1 behind the Vanguard, and you call over your other Swordbreaker, and you draw 2 off. Like, this is like everything wrong in this. This was a huge waste of resources for no reason. That was actually a very bad turn. That was many things wrong. Yeah. The main reason why the call, like, okay, sure, let's just say you didn't want to call 2 Swordbreakers, despite you can just call it. Why did you call Dorant over the Dorant when you could have just called Dorant over the Swordbreaker? Like, why did you leave this Swordbreaker on the board? Why not? There's no reason that Swordbreaker should still be on the board here. You should have overplayed it with something. I would not have. I would not have killed. I would have killed the Doorknob. I would have killed specifically this Doorknob. These lanes are not scaling, like, at all. 15, 16, 20. You're already committed. You swing Vanguard here. You're not scaling, but you still swing Vanguard. Although his opponent's very dead here. You are very dead here, sir. Like, very dead. Unless you top deck the PG and you're other party on all the Blaster Dark with intercepts. This should be lethal. Wait, actually, aren't you? No, you're one counterblast short here. Yeah, you're one counterblast short here. This is where Bury the counterblast with a Tar 2 makes actually a difference. You actually don't have confirmed lethal here because of this. Assuming that draw trigger didn't draw him a PG to let him live, and that one leftover was a PG, you actually do not have lethal here because of this. That one CB actually made a big difference. Call McCart then. Wait, no, don't do that. Wait, what are you doing? Wait, why? Okay, let's just get calling over the heel. Sure, whatever. Like, you don't need that heel in your hand. Whatever, you can call over the heel. You should never be overcalling your RPB like this because you want a follow up for the follow up. Like, what he should just be doing here is, obviously, if he didn't burn the TV for the Tar 2 the turn before, he should have. He'd had the extra counterblast open, meaning he could use the extra meteor, retire the other blaster blade, and just get a double check. But since he used a Tar 2 and you're stuck in this game state now, you at most call over the heel, and you call over the heel with the Makar. So this makes a 16k column, a lot doesn't matter. That's fine, go intercept. And then the Makar calls whatever booster here, and you just go for a one check. You definitely should not be. And then if you hold the RPV in hand, and if you manage to live the follow up from the opponent, you have the extra Makar in hand to call you back a door and to use the extra BDR. So this is like very bad plays. I guess you're just not using. You don't have counterblast, my guy. You don't have counterblast. You should also be returning your PG, not your Tar 2. Okay, that was a very interesting choice of Legion targets. You do not have counterblast, sir. That was a wasteable Legion, straight up. Yes, it's still only one check no matter how you do this here, but I think I'd rather have used the RPB to set the cycle. Okay, you're probably dead here. And honestly speaking, you deserve to lose this game. You absolutely deserve to lose this game. Your opponent has three PGs in their damage zone as well. Or, I guess they heal. I guess they're actually no, they do. Honestly, you deserve to lose this game. You actually played horrendously here. That was actually some really bad. If I was the opponent, I would just use the black blade here. You don't have the hand to use things. You do not have the hand to use things. Well done. Yeah, it's fine. It's obviously it's a learning experience, right? It's a learning experience. I don't expect everyone to play perfect, right? I'm not even happy, but those were some really big mistakes that you definitely should have he did get punished for it. I actually did not want to see a 6 deal there. I absolutely did not want to see a 6 deal. I wanted you to lose. That was absolutely horrendous. That was like 2 turns. That was 2 turns. That was a case of one bad turn leading to another bad turn, and then that second bad turn was just met with even more bad plays that put you into a situation where you literally could not win. Actually, he damaged the draw. Right? He damaged the draw. Right? Okay, he would have just drawn these. I'm like, if he did, yeah, he hit a draw. He would not have drawn the PG off the release. Last game with the mirror. You hold this in. Obviously, you don't ride PG, right? Obviously, you don't ride it. I think he plays both. I'm pretty sure he plays both. I'm pretty sure he's not maximum one or the other. That's what. Turn 2. All right, you are yet in another situation where you could ride something and call the target and make a 16k column and scale for 2 days. I don't think you should do it, but you're in another situation where you could do it. And he's going for it. Is it? I guess I could. I'm too lazy. I'm not doing that. I'm too lazy. And now you risk your Judge Bao dying. You manage to make moves to PG, but you risk your Judge Bao dying. BDR. Do you BDR the Judge Bao? Well, I guess since he put down his, I guess if his opponent wants to maintain their Judge Bao, you swing for your pass. Because they have a door on the board too now, right? So if you thing, okay, I guess you can do that. Because if you won't have the BDR in hand, they can thing. You can kill it off. Yes, you do. Yes, yeah. In a situation where your choice is kill Judge Bao, kill Dorn, you will always kill Judge Bao. Actually, I guess not always. The time where you kill Dorn over Judge Bao is that the game states at a point where their Dorn lives without him, and that's when you kill Dorn. But that requires your opponent to just not use Judge Bao for like 3 or 4 turns. Top deck's a Desperate Dragon. Better than nothing. You ride it here. It's better than nothing. You ride it. It's better than nothing. I guess he doesn't want to ride. I would have just ridden it. I don't know why he didn't ride it. I guess he also doesn't want to kill his opponent's Judge Bao off. Oh, he wants to do this. I don't know how I feel about this either. I would have just ridden the Desperate. Because now you need to draw into another Great 3. I guess it's fine, but I don't know how I feel about this. This also means you can't kill their Judge Bao off. That's whatever, I guess. Now you risk your Doran dying. Now you risk your Doran dying. They have another BDR. Either BDR. So I guess you can't really stop the Abyss one. You would have killed it anyway. Let's see what his opponent called. If I were opponent, I'd probably call like Judge Bao Doran. Yes. His opponent didn't commit. The more just because the opponent didn't commit, so it doesn't trigger into another. This is where Tartu is just useless. She is a literal non-keeping. And his opponent didn't use the thing. You don't yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is a situation where you do kill because since you're pushing a 4 here, I don't know why the opponent didn't use the judge bug to begin with, right? Like I would have used it just to call Doran. But like in a situation like let's read the choose where you're pushing them to 4, you do kill the Doran off because who cares that they have judge bug here, right? It doesn't convert. You call that I would have called that a Tartu as well. That's just me. I would have also called them Tartu. Well, I guess I would have gotten punished for it. Because if he was gonna push the 4 here, his opponent actually had lethal. This is another case of not knowing your matchup, right? You're at 3 damage with 1 PG in. If you gave the other Revenger player 4 damage and they have RPB in hand, you actually lose the game. Because they don't even need the Dorn to countercharge. They call down BDR, they snipe this thing off, they make 2 columns, and then they swing in your face 4 times in your deck. You actually needed the second. If he didn't hit defensive and he pushed for 4, his opponent would have actually killed him with their RPB in hand. Because they're not putting on that second intercept. It's not even a matter of things. It's just literally just a matter of surviving at that point. Yeah, it's a waste, but you need it to live. I don't know why the opponent decided to use Dark Bond instead of just using the Judge by the turn before, but I guess. Ah, yes. Kills the rear but doesn't swing Vanguard. I think I would just push probably. This is another case of you don't fucking know your matchup. You needed second intercept to just guarantee not, or at least. Actually, yeah, second intercept means you can't die when you push to 5 because they don't have a counterblast to use both BDR, double BDR and thing, unless they have the joint BDR already in their hand. You actually, this is the biggest thing. When you play a deck, when you play against other meta decks, especially if you're playing yourself, you should know the lethal ranges. You should know your lethal ranges and how many PDs you need to run at a deck. RPB, yes, there's also that too. Yeah, you also need to read your opponent. Where if they have the RPBA, since they didn't give breaker, you can also assume that they just don't have enough PG to survive, meaning that your opponent knows the matchup. You are very dead here. Oh, I guess he has Warp BDR in hand. This is pretty bad though, just because your laser aren't scaling like on the main. I guess he didn't get punished for it. Oh, I guess we don't get to see the ending of the game. But let's just assume they had Dorant BDR in hand. You're dead here. But this is where calling the extra intercept would have mattered, because unless your opponent has Dorant BDR in hand already, they cannot retire both your intercepts, meaning you actually have to live a turn. In a part 2? Did they? Give me a sec. Let me find. Let me see. Kind of just got interrupted in the middle of a game. Nope, I do not see a second part. So I'm assuming this is it. Alright, so let's just assume he lost. I'm just going to take a while guessing he lost here. I don't know why I cut out. I'm assuming it's going to take a while guessing he lost. Actually, very, very big issues here in like all these games. Like legit, all these games were lost because of your play. I think, especially the second game. Especially especially the second game. First game as well. Never mind. Actually, never mind. You got punched the first game too. The first game here, where you decided to overcall the Shadow Lantern instead of making a 21 call to ensure this Vanguard hits, got punished by defensive instantly, and you lost out on a check because of that, and that check would have won you the game. So yeah, this was just bad play here. You should have just made the 21 call and make sure that connected. This was the case of burning Counterblast for absolutely no reason and calling cards for no reason. You calling overcards for no reason. So both these games were legit. The first game was not scaling. The second game was clicking buttons for no reason. The third game was, I'm assuming you lost, it was not knowing your matchups. And not knowing lethal ranges for all your decks, which... if you play the game enough, you should realize that Revengers from 3 damage, if they kill both your intercepts with an RPB, right, you need 2 PGs to survive from 3. Also, just not reading the opponent, not reading your opponent, knowing that since they didn't give you your breaker, I mean they can't survive your RPBA, meaning you should have realized that they couldn't, that you should have probably denied them back. If they can't survive, you just play against them, and then once you draw your second PG, you go. So 3 main things: not scaling, monkey click buttons, and not knowing your matchup. So yeah. But of course, it's a learning experience. I don't expect everyone to know all this stuff. That's why I do this for people, because obviously, if you're losing, you don't know why. I clearly pointed out 3 things wrong here in 3 games, right? So clearly, it's a learning experience. It's fine if you mess up. Just know where you screwed up and don't go for it again, right? I'm gonna start for the opponent. I thought you know. You could have done that, but at the same time, if you did that, you risk defenses. Or actually, no. If you mean this game, he doesn't even have the RPBA here. If you mean the first game, he threw away an RPBA for the Mordred and just never drew a grade 3 after that. Yeah, that too, right? You obviously could have just wrote the RPBA. It might have made a difference. Because the card he had in his last game was Drag Ruler, not RPBA here. Yeah, he didn't have it, and since RPBA is a thing. Oh, I have run. All right. This game he could have just wrote. I didn't even really. He touched at the Cormac here. He could have just he could have wrote Cormac here because he has the BDR at countercharge. He could have wrote Cormac, call BDR, call the Cormac the cart here, just call whatever here, and then go for a checks, starve them of 4 open ZV and kill off 3s if you have to, right? Yeah, you definitely could have, but if they were me, I would have just called double air and pushed that. That was a play where it would have been safe because his opponent does not open house. It requires them to have everything in their hand, like just ready for you to die here, which I think is worth gambling just because the opponent's hand isn't active. So yeah. Like I said, it's learning experience. I do this for a reason. Like the ones I've done before this, not that many misplays, just little iffy changes you can make here and there, but some pretty big misplays here in all 3 of these games. So, but again, it's fine. It's a learning experience, whatever. Right? You lose, you learn, and now you get better. And now you can win next time, and you can not make these plays. Yeah, that's it for this week for Free Play Reviews. Thank you for watching.